how do you handle a seller or buyer that is not fluent in English? This is a great question that was proposed in our Wicked Smart community. And I wanted to make sure that you had the answer to this because I don't want you to give up on a deal, especially a good one, if this happens to be your challenge. I mean, we live, if you're in the United States right now or in North America, there are so many different languages that people speak, but all deals can be done in real estate as long as we're able to communicate. So here's a couple things that I would suggest you walk through. In that way, we can potentially handle this challenge. So first and foremost, when you're getting on the phone with a seller or a buyer and you're having a conversation and the language barrier is there, first I would try to figure out exactly how fluent they are in English. So by just asking them some questions and getting the feedback, most people will be able to then tell how fluent they are. Is it just broken English, or are they completely missing the mark on exactly what you're saying? Because if it's just broken English and they just need some more time in order to digest the material, or they need to bring a loved one in that may speak a little bit more fluent, then lean on your videos. So the way in which our business works or our communication process works, especially when you're working with sellers, and that's always been my specialty, we originally have a phone call with the person when we're prospecting the seller. And then our second step would be to then send an email with some videos or some content. All of our students have access to these videos that we have created. They're cartoon videos that explain what's a lease purchase, what's owner financing, what's subject to, and that tends to help translate the information. It's just another way for them to go ahead and watch. So I would lean on that. So I would lean on the second step, which would be an email with some content, some information, and then on a follow-up call, you can then decipher whether or not it's still landing or not. So if it does, then great. Let's just continue to work them through the process. If it doesn't, then what I would recommend is to see if they have a family member that's willing to translate the conversation either over the phone or in person. Because we purchase properties from people that speak all different languages. So that's the next best step, right? If the husband doesn't speak as great English, but the wife does, of course, that makes things rather easy. If neither one of the parties that owns the property is fluent in English, then what the next step would be to get a translator that you trust, that understands the business. So inside our community, we have people that speak different languages, and what I would always suggest one of our students to do is to go ahead and reach out to one of the other investors and have them hop on the phone with them, and then they can figure out how to best do the deal together. Because this isn't going to be just the original conversation. This is going to be the conversation for the rest of this deal on how they're going to translate. So that'd be the other option that you'd have. See, let me give you an example, though. Although this wasn't a seller, there was a property that we bought with a student in Connecticut, and the buyers did not speak English. They spoke, actually, Spanish was their first language. So at the closing table, we brought in a translator. I believe also one of their children helped translate on their end as well, just to make sure that everyone was 100% understanding of exactly what was going on in this deal. But at the closing, we actually had final documents both in Spanish and in English in order to make sure that everybody was 100% on board. So I'm encouraging you, if you're out there and you're prospecting, you're looking for real estate deals, and you come across somebody that there's a language barrier, I'm encouraging you that you do not have to give up on that deal just because you guys don't both speak the same language. There are many resources in order for you to keep pushing the deal forward, especially if you believe it's worth your time. Hope you enjoyed another Thursday Q&A. We have an upcoming event here in September where you may be able to meet and collaborate with other real estate investors that speak different languages so that way you can do more deals. Go ahead and go to qlslive.com, promo code YT49. We'll see you in September.